This bad boy over here is like red. Do you like red or you like yellow? You tell me what you like.
What color you like?
Woman.
Color red.
Red.
Not red.
No, you don't want red?
Okay.
No.
What colors do you like?
What color do you like, Doctor?
If he has burgundy like
You have a
this.
burgundy? By any chance?
Okay, I'll see what I got as far as other colors goes.
Okay.
The one you have, even it's not pink. I love it. Not yours.
He doesn't have a pink. You
No,
don't have any pink, right?
Like the one you have, that's not pink.
Well,
That's
what color
really
pink, Doctor?
good pink. This size. You know what I mean? This is this size. You know?
Rose gold.
Yeah, that's rose gold.
I would say that.
That's rose gold.
Some various colors for you to choose from.
Which one you like?
Tucker, I'm not wearing that watch. You have to pick it because you have to wear it. I like that green.
Is this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she has to pick. Don't let me pick.
Okay.
No,
okay.
is this one?
Okay. So she's picking this color. Let's try it out.
That way I ain't got to hear her mouth. You know what I mean?
That's called love at its best, right?
Ooh. Ooh. That went out to 20 years ago.
I'm joking.
Do you have your Apple Watch again?
Do I have mine? Yeah.
Or
I
the
heard?
clients?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to. Oh no, not mine. Here. I was trying to clean it off for
Oh no, yeah.
no smudges.
Is it normal that the lights stay on as much as they do on the back? Okay. It must be coming on and off.
My son is working in the car.
He's working in the car. What is he doing?
No, he's downloading. He was updating her phone, but
Mm-hmm.
that's her phone is updating. But that light always stays on.
All right. And then where's that black cover at?
I have it right here. There's just a little smudge I was trying to get rid of.
When the first coming, I give it to him for Father's Day.
What's that?
The first this watch coming.
Oh, I had the first. Yeah.
the
Remember
first
series
when
one?
coming,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I give it to him to his birthday. My
Yeah.
birthday. You have to give him. How many years? 8 years ago?
Yeah, it was nice.
The first one coming.
Yeah, I love that watch. And do you have a 45 millimeter bumper case?
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay.
Hey, do me a favor if you don't mind. Either one of you can help me out with the client information, and
Okay.
we'll let our
my glasses on.
lady try it
Yeah.
out over here. Oh yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Let's switch off. I'll take this.
Oh yeah, no worries. I'll there you go.
Or whichever.
I was going to go look for
Yeah.
something for him
You
too.
want to try it on?
Done, right? Go ahead, honey.
Okay, thank you.
It's there, right?
45
You got a lot of
millimeter.
patience, dude. I mean, you really do, because most people don't have patience. Like, he has a lot of patience. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
has a lot of patience, which is unusual to find. You know what I
This
mean?
is the last one. Perfect. It's okay.
You like it? It looks beautiful.
It's good. Sometimes it's good to drink. Since August,
Sad.
he gave me to my birthday.
Now, as far as the watch band goes, sir, the watch band color you like already, or you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I love the green. I'm a Lima
Okay.
one. I just want the bumper case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just bought
He
that
just
one.
bought yesterday, right? Today?
No, I bought it last week. I sent it back because they sent me a red one instead. Now I kind of want the red back.
June. Oh.
Oh yeah,
Better
it's
than-
much better. You like that? See, but now you can switch
Little
it.
bit big, but there's no more. The last one. I have small one.
Yeah, it's okay. But at least you got the bumper case on it, because mine, I've got one at home. I got it snagged on the door and the whole face came off.
Oh no.
So I guess it's no good. now.
Accessories
The
Genius
other one I buy you? That's
Yeah.
8 years.
Series
Can that be
7
repaired or no?
for this gentleman.
Okay.
No, it's not repaired. Already
You don't know.
bought it.
Bumper cases
She
for-
said just bring it in. See what happens.
None of these 44 millimeters fit.
For what you repair?
Well, maybe it does. Let's try it out with this one.
It's okay.
But he's looking for the Marine's green one. You can do this. Accessories Genius team. Apple Watch Series 7. Hunter green color. Bumper cover.
Can I see?
Comma.
Absolutely.
Requested
Free. Get
randomly.
cozy, get comfortable.
One a Sunday.
Admire your new life.
Period.
This is all the one to the top piece. I can't see the bottom.
Yeah, let me.
I only have my glasses, so I can see the rest of it.
I'll help you out with it.
Okay, appreciate it.
Mr. Eugene,
Uh-huh.
and then we're looking at an Apple
Another crack over here.
Watch series?
Type in your sleep. My
A
goodness.
bit too large, but we'll make it fit.
Which series is it? I'm sorry, Mr. Eugene.
Hers was mine is series 7. Hers is series 3.
3 years,
Series 3. Yes.
3.
Yours?
What was I doing?
3. Yeah.
You just bought me in August,
It
you told me
doesn't make
6,
a-
and then.
I didn't tell you. Well, maybe hers is series 6. I don't know.
What
It doesn't
are
make
you-
a difference. They're all the same. The only
What
thing
are
is
you-
the operating system on the inside. That's the only difference, sweetie.
Thank you.
The new one has a different chip in it. That's all.
You always buy for yourself good things. And
Look, they still sell it at Best Buy right now, so you can go in and buy any one you want. 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. It doesn't make a difference. It's on the inside. The operating system is only different. The chip. That's it. Oh, that's a red bumper case?
Yeah, I
Oh, do you
could,
have a black?
I didn't see a black one for now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Then use the black one.
too
He don't
red.
have
Huh?
the black one. Yeah.
So come
Two.
next week.
Yeah, I gotta have a black
No,
one.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
I just sent the red watch back too.
Oh,
I did.
okay. You sent it back. Where did you send it back to? Apple?
Yeah.
Oh,
No. I actually bought that online at Best Buy. So
oh, it just
when they
sent it
shipped
back.
it to me, I sent it back to them.
You're
Yeah.
like, nope, no red. I want black. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
But it's okay if you order mine. That's fine.
you come back and get it.
I
I'm
will
sure.
come
Yeah.
back. Yeah. Yeah.
Next Saturday, what time?
Okay, Saturday, huh?
Yes.
We'll put it on the request sheet for our accessories team. Okay, 45 million. At least you got one for your wife, you know?
Yeah, I tried. She don't
Yeah.
understand. Hey.
Yeah. Valentine's Day gift, bumper cover.
Hey. That's what it's all about.
Yep. So, let me
You got your
see.
old watch band, Tommy? Okay.
Yes.
You happy? Now you can switch up. Sometimes you have a green.
I'm
Sometimes you
going
have.
to have most of the time black ones and sometimes green.
Uh-huh. We're going to expand our product line of watch accessories. We're starting to notice that clients are more and more coming to get other stuff other than cell phone
How
accessories,
much
you
do
know?
I sell this?
It's $29 for the band and $29 for the bumper cover, man.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. That's good.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And Miss Emily, if you need any help drafting up the ticket, just let me know,
I'm
okay?
just looking for the little toggle, but I think I
Okay.
have it here.
Well, I should have asked Joey if he wanted cover for his watch. You know?
Do you think that he's going to say yes?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's important because that thing
I was
will
asking
snag
you
on something.
since August, September almost.
But you say you don't have any black, right? You have,
No, not right now. Just that
Oh,
red one. Maybe you just want to have that one.
For spring break. I'll break you.
look at all the cases. The cases are so cool for the watch. I mean, for the phone. Look at them. Cases are unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen this many cases before.
That's how the business is the one.
It's beautiful. Well, we'll come by. Y'all do watch batteries?
I do conventional watch batteries. Yes, I do.
Watch batteries. Need a
Yeah.
battery, man.
Okay, I'll take a look at it for you.
$29.99 just for the bumper and $29.99 for the
Fine
key.
by me.
We're looking at 6352. Go ahead, tap or insert.
No. I try to show you. You tell me, so why you don't make no business?
Alright, Mr. Eugene, do you have any questions?
I want to thank y'all so much. Thanks
Thank
for
you
being
so much,
patient.
guys.
Sorry
I
about,
appreciate that. Yeah, no
you know,
problem.
You know,
Thank you, really appreciate it.
and I'll check back with you next week
Yeah,
for the black bumper case.
And
Yeah.
then,
45.
45 millimeter. If
So following week for my son, I will be here because school is closed.
okay,
Yeah, he needs-
if you don't mind, to grab a couple cards for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. One for Mr. Eugene, and I'm
Thank you so
sorry,
much.
your name
Thank
was
you.
Taka.
Osborne.
Taka. Her first name is. She asked you what your
Yeah,
name was.
Miss Osborne, I
Miss
think.
Osborne. And then
Tell me your
for
first name.
For my son?
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
And-
I will be here with my son.
And I'm on TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
I will say yes, I
Yeah.
do.
She
It's
stays on TikTok.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Phone doctor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Phone doctor. Okay, I will check him today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in my car.
Yeah, you'll see me there, and I'll try to post up the video for you so you can say, hey, that was me. Yeah.
Really, I will see you now.
I sure will.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Good old
There we go.
TikTok. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Don't forget to add me on and drop a comment, okay?
Okay, I will do
All
that.
right.
Okay?
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir.
so
See ya.
much, guys.
Appreciate
Bye.
it.
Take care.
All right. Be glad to see you go, babe. Get out.
No. See you next week.
He said it was 45, right?
Yeah. And you can put it on the SC1A and flag Mr. Nick. Mr. Nick is on the accessories department, so. Valor. Wow. We could almost put our entire showcase on Apple Watch bands. It's pretty amazing. Matt Price. They advise selling like a fancy one for like $25. We saw the most basic one for $29. The customer's like overjoyed. I sold a watch band one time for like nearly $200. The fitting process is pretty. It's a pretty how can I say?
How can I tag Mr. Nick? Can I just say at Mr. Nick?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how to ask.
Or at Mr. Nick, request insight or insight accessories insight. Requested accessory. Requested accessory. It's one of the.
Request accessory insight? Or just request insight?
Requested accessory. Well, they got some pretty nice sparkly watch covers, bumpers. Electroplated black. Electroplate is not advised. Black, green, hunter green. In this case, he wanted hunter green. Our price $270. Let's do some math over here. If we're selling it for $29 or $39, let's say $39. Minus 2. That's $32.20 profit. If we're able to sell this and fit it, just fit it on and sell it in a 5-second window. 5 seconds. How can we calculate our earnings per hour? 37.29 is earned in 1 hour, but we multiply by 60. It's $2,237 per hour if we sell this thing. How do we get that number? We took the profit and we multiplied by 60 to see if we took a minute to sell it, a minute from when we're custom fitted and send it out the door, it's $2,237. Now we break it down into seconds. 2,237 times 60 seconds. That's $134,000 per hour. But we divide by.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey,
Good.
how's
How are
it?
you today?
Everything good.
What brings you in today?
So I would just like to know how much it would be, like a quote for this phone right here.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to give it to like my sibling. It still works and everything. It just seems to be a screen. The front screen is just like coming off. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah, let's go ahead if you don't mind helping us out just by signing in as well. We would highly appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
How did you hear about us?
Friend recommended me.
Friend recommended you? That's
Yeah.
awesome. What we'll need to in here is just first name, last name, phone number, email, and then just information about the device.
All right.
And then I'll be doing a quick assessment just on your device, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Have an incoming device. Here's the iPhone 6 in the color gold. Just the functionality of the device. Seems to be looking good. 4 out of 4 bars for Verizon. 82% on the charge. Or on the battery, I would say. Positive text and feedback with the home button. Volume down, volume up, and the power button. Looking just a little closer at the back. Rear camera does not appear to have any type of fragmentation. Back just has minor scratches. Going to test the ability. Charging. Seems to go ahead and recognize the charger, getting very snug. And he's going to electrical scan. Taking a closer look at a second assessment, just seeing that there's a bit of lifting on the screen. Go ahead and see it right under there. And you can see it some more towards the bottom. The back is just in there. We'll pause the assessment and take a closer closer look to see what solutions. And Mr. James.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How's your day going so far?
Everything good, thank you.
That's
for
good to
asking.
hear.
How about your day?
Absolutely. It's going pretty good too. What does your hat say?
Securitas.
Where is that?
It's a company.
It's a company. Ah. Is it local?
Yes.
It is. Where is it located?
It's located right across over here.
Okay.
On Executive Wing.
Nice. Do you work there?
Yes.
Nice. How long have you been going, or how long have you been working there for?
I've been working there since September.
Since September. Do you like it?
Yes.
Nice. What do you do on your day in and day out?
Day in, day out,
Mhm.
we patrol the facilities, make sure our site is safe, and
Uh-huh.
ensure all the doors and everything are just always being watched.
Okay.
Ensure like premium security always,
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe security. I like that. That's nice. Well, I'm glad you like it. That's good to hear. It's important to love what you do.
For sure.
See, feel free to have a seat or browse around, whatever you'd like. I just need about a few more minutes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I apologize to interrupt, but
No,
is it fine if I come back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time are you looking to come back at?
I'll probably have to come back tomorrow, like after my shift.
Okay. Any particular reason? Are you just on a time crunch?
Yeah, I'm on a time crunch right now.
Okay. How much more time do we have just right now?
Probably like 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
I don't want to rush you. That's
No,
why.
no. Give me
I'm
give
sorry.
me about like another minute, and I'll have that taken care of.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You work at the security in the shopping center next to us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I recognize your logo.
Yeah.
It's good that they.
Sometimes there's like a white car with dots on it too that passes around
Oh, okay.
this area too as well. Mobile patrol.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not doing mobile patrol at the moment.
You're on the foot most of the time, huh?
Oh yes, for sure.
Okay. So I just saw this repair coming in. It looks like the frame is slightly bent. Was that recently, or has that been like that for a while?
It's been like that.
Okay. And where did you get it repaired at before, if you don't mind me asking?
I do not remember, sir.
Okay. I'll take a minute just to look at this real quick, okay? And then I can get your price quote. And if you're okay with it, we'll get started on the repair and should have it back to you by tonight. So this way you don't have to even wait for it tomorrow.
All right.
Just going to look at it real quick. Okay. Okay. So, nice Maserati you got in there. They make some beautiful cars, huh?
For sure.
Okay. And you're just concerned mostly that the actually, may I ask what you'd like to service today? Is it the cracked screen, or is it the gap in the frame?
It's the gap mostly too with the screen.
Oh, okay. So you'd like
Because,
to
I think it just loses power because of that. Like it.
loses power because of the
Yeah,
gap. Let me
Because like it
take a
lets
look.
in like the dust and.
Yeah, go ahead and put in your passcode again, and I'll check what's going on for you. Okay. All right. Appreciate that. Okay, so your symptoms are that you're losing power pretty fast during day-to-day usage, huh?
Mhm.
Okay. And I do see like a couple loose screws in there. It might have dropped out during normal wear and tear. And it also appears like your Taptic engine, like the vibrate, does it still work? The vibrate mode? Like, like when you're when somebody calls, it's supposed to vibrate. Does that still work? Or
No, I don't hear any vibrate.
oh, okay. All right. Maybe your Taptic engine is a little bit on the loose side. How long have you had this phone for?
I had this phone for about 5 years, I'd say.
You can definitely take good care of your stuff. But it has been repaired before or no? Do you remember?
It has been like
Oh.
when I very first got it.
Okay. You just don't remember
It
where.
might have been a different screen or something. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I just don't remember where it was.
All right. That's cool. We'll still help you out. Okay, to service it and repair it, I have an estimated price of $119.99. And it's something that I can take care of tonight. Now, that little small bend in your frame, I won't be able to get it perfect, but I'll be able to make it a little bit more improved. And also, I think the desired resolution for you is to address the battery dropping condition like throughout the day, and also I'll help service take care of some of this crack around the perimeter as well. Is that something you'd like to do tonight? And then when we get done, we can give you a jingle, or your friends a jingle, and then you can come back and pick it up, or you're right around the corner. I can even probably like drive it on through or walk it on through as well too.
I think that would be a good option. Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know if I can do this tonight though, just because I have to go home first too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get the money for it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean.
Because I don't even have that much.
Oh, you don't have that much?
I was
Okay.
looking to spend like around $60 to $80.
$60 to $80. Yeah. Can you do 89? If you can do $89.99, I can at least take care of the power symptoms first, and then we can take care of the rest of it at another time.
I don't think I can do that. I'm sorry, sir. I think I'm gonna have to come back actually.
Sure. Let me put everything back together for you, and then we'll send you on your way.
All right. I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you stopping in to see me. What prompted you to come see me today as opposed to any other day?
Well, I just didn't even notice you guys had a store here, and I've been looking to see
Yeah.
for, like good phone stores because I see them in the mall sometimes, but
Yeah.
they don't seem as nice as you guys. You guys seem to have lots of like stuff on your.
Yeah, I appreciate the compliments. Can we do at least a screen protector? Takes me a few minutes on that, and it's only $30 here. That'll help support us, and you can come back another time to address the power issues as well, the power and the frame issues.
I think I'll have to come back. Yeah, I'll pass on that, sir.
Okay, no worries. All right. Your phone is ready, and then I'll write it down on a card for you. So once you're ready, you can come back and see me, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Uh-huh.
What is your name, sir?
Lexi.
Lexi? Okay.
Yeah, and yours?
My name is James.
James, okay.
Yes, sir.
iPhone 6. Power symptom. Power symptoms. You've been working how long have you been doing your security work over there?
Well, I've been working since September 2021.
Okay, that's just about 6 months ago. Well, wish you had more time to spend with us today, but you know, hope to see you. Said tomorrow. Around what time tomorrow is good for you?
Probably around the same time.
Okay. Evening time, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll go ahead and send you off on your way. And, be safe out there.
All right.
It's cold out there, you know? Yep. Thank you,
sir.
James. I appreciate it.
Have a
Take
good
care,
one.
James.
Have a good one.
Uh-huh. West. Promenade.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the hat. Maybe I'm not as noticeable to details as I thought.
Battery and script. Oh, you are, but it's just a matter of like perspective shifting, you know. But you notice loads and loads of details, little details. Battery and screen protect.
Is it working?
It's not as bright. Oh, I guess I have to learn how to shoot it a little bit better.
Better.
This one is, yeah. You see the dot that's moving around?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as bright as this one. This little guy.
So yeah, that one is brighter. Seems like it's almost like the light beam maybe smaller.
Yeah. Just gotta try to prepare it so that it's like as I get busier and busier inside here, as we get more and more like, because it'll start, it'll pick up. Like it's a lull right now. It's a little bit slower as we're staging up, setting up, and then it'll get busier and busier, and then we'll run into that problem where it's like it's a bottlenecking issue. You know, it's like people be jammed up against each other, and say we lose track of where we store things. We lose track of our thoughts. So it's like somebody has to come in and stand at a certain corner. Yeah, their job really isn't to actually be doing it. Theirs is just pretty much pointing the laser light and, you know, pointing a beam of light, or maybe even tapping a drum. It's like, you know, creating like a rhythm for the rest of the team members to flow with, you know.
Yeah.
I'm building myself back up to that position, I guess. But in the meantime, while I'm building up to it, I gotta still do the day-to-day execution too, you know. So. I kind of recognize him because I've seen him standing in the shopping centers I'm driving by. So I've seen him stand out there before. or seen someone similar to him out there before.
I'm gonna take a breather, Mr. Lux.
Yeah.
For about 5 minutes.
Just for mental
I
break.
just
Just
call my mom. She's at my cousin, or at my aunt's and cousin's house.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Just want to check on her.
Check in on mom, making sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've given some instructions on some of these tools. Yeah, you don't need like, for example, like 5 identical tools in the same cup. Some people like to keep all the Phillips in one cup, but in one station you can only use so many, so it needs to be distributed. So you kind of have to study and say, oh, which one do I need at my station, and then color coded, and some of the extras store away, down here.
Okay.
And when you need it, you grab it, and that way it's right where you need it, Yeah. Well, enjoy your breather break over there.
Yeah, I'm
And-
gonna probably just sit in my car. I don't know where I put my keys, so.
Mm-hmm. Mat cleaning tool. There we go. And this is something that can be done probably as you're working throughout the day. See, it's your service area. Cups can be up here. But as you're working throughout the day, clean and organize your station. Keep it all tidied up. Put this bad boy back. Moto G stylus. Yeah, maybe we should order some more Moto G stylus. Have like a consolidated list. Requests. The requests is pretty gosh darn important each day. we should have. Hello, phone doctor. How may I help you, please?
FCPS is asking for
Program this signboard to stay on. Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m., 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Oops. Sheesh. We can do this.
Is this still fine? Huh.
Program this signboard to open 9 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. comma Monday through Sunday, period. Shucks, we'll do 8 a.m. Some people are
So
right.
8 a.m. How do I revise that? Open sign? Let's use Bluetooth. Socket is off. Schedule.
Oh, shucks, keeps going on. Okay.
You said on Sundays, 9 a.m. Let me take a look at this.
That open sign. Sunday. Okay, we'll keep it like that. Hard to do every Sunday, 10 to 8 p.m., but we do it for a short bit to kind of build up momentum. Okay, squad 30.
Okay. So just to verify,
Uh-huh.
we're looking at every day, switch on, right?
Uh-huh.
Every day at 8 a.m. and switch off every day at 11:59
p.m. Mm-hmm. Then we can screenshot it and in response to the in and out group, and then we'll be able to see it. And if need it adjuster to edit it, I can reply back. Oh wow, some of these Apple Watch bands, oh my goodness, wow. I'm gonna have a ball with it. Sheesh. Yeah, can't believe those are available at the cost which we can get it for. Wow. Order everything on this list. Apple Watch 7 series. Even the stuff that's coming soon. We should order a couple pieces of those. $3 a piece. Yeah, that'd be a good investment. Right over here. Probably has a better shot at selling than $29. Yeah. We don't know. Probably has a better shot. much stuff. If we build it out and they will come. Period.
Actually. Is that my voice?
Uh-huh.
Is the video playing?
Uh-huh. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, man, excuse me. I hear it. Person of interest.
I think it should be good now, I think.
Yeah.
So theoretically it should be on.
Uh-huh. I heard it.
Yes. Yes.
That's 22. Sign is 6, 7, 8. So we have a couple more hours to go, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's turn on the open sign too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did do that as well. Let me capture a picture actually.
Yeah, I may not have noticed it. Yeah, I see it from this angle now.
Let me.
Max Plane. Pop socket. I saw that lady, or that gal that was sitting at the kitty watt, her treasure. The lady that was sitting next to you on the kitty watt. I recognize her case as a treasure chest one, but
Yeah.
I wasn't able to identify what phone model it was.
I didn't either.
I was pretty sure it wasn't an iPhone. I was trying to identify what those 3 models are, so this way it gives us insight on accessories, you know. We're going out to grab a bite to eat and thinking, oh, how can we bring back value to the company, to our clients, without incurring extra burden upon people or hurting or injuring people, you know? So just off of quick glancing and surveying, boom, 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 we see what models there are out there. We come back and it's a lot better chance than, I would say, gambling blindly.
Yeah.
You know, when you're just throwing out numbers over there, you don't know. But if you're able to out there take a walk around and do a quick survey of what people have in their hands, you have a general idea, which phone models are out there in people's hands. We survey 100 people randomly and then start identifying their models. And that's where our specialization, like industry specialization, like yourself, Mr. Nick, Mr. Brad, we have that experience to see 15 to 20 feet. So that's a pretty special gift over there, you know, to be able to identify a phone model from 20 feet away. And not a lot of people can do that. It takes quite a deal of holding a lot of phones in your hand, rotating in your hands. And that's why during the assessment, when you do the assessments, you know, you'll do like the, when you're holding the camera, the GoPro doesn't provide me with enough details just yet. Like you can see the GoPro from home, right?
Yeah.
And me too. So as soon as you get a client, even though it's already streaming, copy and paste the link again into the ST1A group, and this notifies me immediately, like, oh, here comes an assessment.
Okay.
And you know, you may not know if I'm there or not. I gotta find a way to do it. But the more angles you have on things, the more it's like their ATS is ATS. You don't have to take the considerations, but it allows you to say, oh, what are other people's thoughts on it?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever we're doing these pricing quotes for the clients, the more ATS, advised technical solutions that we have, and more angles and perspective, the more that the person doing the quoting has a better shot at, you know, hitting the target right.
Right in the bullseye.
Yeah. Wouldn't you agree? Like, the more that you know as the person who's quoting, the better it is for yourself.
Yeah. I think recently, in the past at least, I'd say like the past week, quoting for me has just been difficult. I don't think I've been able to execute a sale by myself since the big man with the forearms. He was pretty memorable, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was memorable.
So yeah, I mean personally, I think I haven't been able to, and I think I'm giving myself a harder time, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing different, or I don't know how I'm not capturing. I don't think I'm doing anything different, but I don't know.
I wouldn't take it too hard on oneself. It's not a matter of being able to do it, not being able to do it. I think also because the flow of clients are a little bit lesser this past week or two. So it's just a matter of like, and I'm just being as transparent and honest about it as possible, because we have to add everything up. The people are coming in looking to sell their phones, not just at this location, but I'm getting insight from the other locations that's, an hour away from us, because I still have the phone numbers linked to the other locations. So I'm able to see and hear that it's just in general, the economy is a little bit dry this past few days, few weeks, or a couple weeks, since we had like the quote on the Samsung. So that's one of the reasons why. Just the money factor from people isn't as high anymore. And the other thing is sometimes in execution, and it's just like any other sport. Some days we'll just be on the groove. It's being in the zone, I would say, Everything you do just hits the right notes, just right at the right angle. And some days we're just off. And it's just, if you don't come to that reality, you'll just end up frustrating yourself, and you just think, oh, I must be, or you just feel down upon it.
Yeah, I definitely realize that I'm super hard on myself personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I tend to give everybody else like, no, don't do it. But when it comes to me, I'm like my toughest critic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you'll in order to improve more and more, it's like it's good to be critical of oneself, but it also is good to be realistic about it too. Like, Michael Jordan could train for, say, 12 hours out of the day, 16 hours out of the day, but there's going to be a certain point where it's like a breaking point within one's body and one's mind, where it's like, it's saturation point, it's like too much information overload. So it's like you have to, in order to get stronger, you have to, give yourself that break, like that mental the break. So it's important to do that. And quite oftentimes I'll discourage people from comparing themselves to, like, say, someone like myself. I've been doing it for so long that lots of the stuff that I do, it's done on the background. It's like automatic.
Yeah.
So it doesn't require as much energy. It doesn't require as much, effort as, say, someone who may not have been doing it for 20 years. So it's like, gosh, how come he never gets tired?
Yeah.
It's because I'm in autopilot mode, like it's or cruise control. But I do get tired. It's not that I don't get tired. I do. It's just when people try to keep up with the pace, it's almost like, somebody who just started doing marathon runs, training to be a marathon runner, and there's an experienced runner that's been running for 5 years. And the new guy comes on and says, well, I'm going to be the best that I can be. I'm going to push just as hard as you. I'm going to run right alongside with you. but they've only been training for 3 weeks, 3 months. You know.
Right.
They,
There's a difference.
they're just gonna break down mentally, and I put in that same effort, but how come? I wear down after 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and you're pumping away for the next 8 hours, 10 hours or so. It makes them feel.
Yeah.
When people do those type of comparison, they end up just kind of hurting their own self-esteem.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I think, and it's still just a matter, like, I have to give myself, like, the benefit of, hey, I'm still relatively new, whether I want to admit it or not. Like, I still am learning, and it's like, all of what I do know is, like, corporate America lifestyle. So it's like, forgetting all of that as well.
Oh yeah.
Is another.
Yeah, there's corporate America as well as what you described, and yeah, it is being, and then we have to remember that the roles in which you're coming to train for, but they're all very different roles. You have to do a role shifting and understand that. Oh, when you're here in front of this workstation, that's like a technical role, like your experience as a technician with your hands. But as soon as, you're dealing in that area, that's like a sales role. That's a whole separate science altogether. So if it feels like you're lost, it's because it's completely different science.
But I guess it's okay. It's like, I would say, I was so comfortable in the position that I was in prior to this, and it was just because I knew what I had to do. I knew my duties and obligations. But it's like being so comfortable for so many years and kind of going out of it and still being in the field, but it's different. It's like unlearning all of that is a lot challenging. It's more challenging than I thought. Because sometimes I automatically just have a response and reaction, and it's like, wait, I have to think. I have to sit back and analyze and think. I can't just, shoot and splur like I usually would.
Yeah.
So it's like that unlearning to learn. It's like breaking it all down to build it back up.
Yeah.
So like I'm in the breaking it down process still.
Oh yeah.
And it's not something that
it's
I'm
not
comfortable
easy.
with.
Oh, it's definitely not easy.
But it's something that's necessary.
Yeah.
Does that make sense when I say that?
Yeah, I understand that. And all too often people will deny that, they won't really realize that they need to unlearn a certain behavior pattern, certain habits in order to relearn a new technique, relearn a new style. So it frustrates themselves. They inside their mind, they're like, hey, it's been working in the past for me. Now I have to do it a different way. It's pretty frustrating. Yeah.
It is frustrating.
Super frustrating.
But not to a degree where it's just frustrating because it's like it's just uncomfortable almost.
Oh yeah.
That's really what it is. It's not frustrating where it's like it's just it's just like, okay, I see. But it's like you thought you knew, but then you didn't know any. You realize you don't know anything. It's just like, ugh. It's just like, what happened? I thought I knew.
Yeah.
So it's just it's like a roller coaster. It's like
you thought you knew, but then you realize you didn't.
Because even if you are because ultimately for me in my head, what I'm thinking is like, even if I do feel uncomfortable, that's okay with me. Just because I know that uncomfortable means in my head growth still. You know, like the outcome of it all will be growth.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm okay with that. It's just sitting through the uncomfortableness is different. I'm not used to it, but it's okay. Everybody, I'm sure, goes through it. It's even like we were talking about how Miss Crystal can probably dribble the basketball without looking at it.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm sure she maybe didn't start like that.
Oh heck no.
And it was maybe uncomfortable at the beginning for her to take her eyes away from it.
It's uncomfortable for me. I'm like, I thought you have to dribble it by looking at the ball.
Yeah. But you gotta know where to look and where to shoot and everything like that. So.
If anybody was to coach me differently and say, hey, don't look at the ball while you're dribbling it, and say, well, that doesn't make sense, and how can I see where it goes?
Yeah.
But in reality, when you're standing at this angle, you know how to dribble at that angle. When you're standing at that angle, you just learn how to dribble at that angle. Plus, when you're dribbling behind your back, how can you see it unless you turn your head? But by that time, somebody's going to push you over because you're not watching your opponent. So, it all goes back to what you said. It's like, we thought we knew. Oh, I thought I knew. You're supposed to look at the ball. But then the coach starts advising you differently and says, oh, better if you're paying attention and keeping an eye on your opponent or your opposing player rather than just watching the ball,
Yeah, no, and it's another thing. This is just me on my observations. Another thing, I thought I was very good at talking to people. I thought I was like a very talkative person, but I find myself very reserved here, very reserved.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because I'm not confident as I'm used to being, or if I'm still just learning the ropes and I'm still just on sponge mode where I'm just observing, but I tend to find myself very, very it's only been a handful of clients out of the dozen that I've really felt like I chatted with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just it's just becoming a little more aware of myself to another degree, and it's different. It's I thought I knew what I knew, but I don't. It goes back to it.
Yeah. See? Even as I'm executing right now, I'm coaching and teaching you guys. I'm like, oh, I thought I knew what I was coaching. And then I start teaching. And I'm like, As I'm teaching, I start realizing weaknesses in myself. I'm like, wow, what am I doing? I'm going off on tangents and consuming all this time. Yeah. Can I be more efficient with my time and coach my guys to be more efficient with their time so that they can maximize the ROI for the client and customers and the business itself, so that they can spend time and financial freedom doing things outside of work as well, Sometimes I'm getting confused. I end up spending all my personal time over here as well, and I'm not thinking about how to be time efficient, So that's why I've revisited the past where I was coaching my guys about it, how do we get better on our ROI on our time?
Yeah.
Anybody can spend 1 year with the client to cultivate and build a relationship where they're buying a $30 phone cover,
Yeah.
And, but if you can do that in a $30 phone cover in 3 minutes, in 3 seconds, it's like, wow, what are your thoughts on that? What are people's thoughts on that? If you're able to convince people, convince might be a negative term, but if you're able to influence people in a positive way to join your team and vote for you and vote for their vote, their purchases using less time, that's a pretty amazing skill to have, I feel, Would you opt to spend more time converting the sale or less time? That's a key question, and some people get confused. They're like, well, don't we want to spend more time with the client? I say yes, but the key thing that we have to remember is the conversion and the securing of the funds must be done first.
Yeah.
And if you want to turn them into a friend and, you'd rather not, you can make the choice later. You're like, do I want to go $2,000 ballooning or no? invest $2,000 towards a vacation experience, or do I want to invest an additional 15 minutes with the client because that's what I enjoy? We've already secured the sale. We've already secured the funding. So financially, we're set. The company's set. Now you can switch off the so-called sales mode, so-called lead tech, whatever work-related positions there are. Then you switch over to the personal enjoyment factor, if that's what one wants,
Yeah.
Gets pretty confusing really fast. It's like, I'm totally lost now.
Yeah.
So sometimes I reflect negatively upon it. I reflect and I'm like, I frown down upon it. I'm like, hey, how come there's so much idle conversations? It's distracting me. It's like, it's costing me $160 per hour because there's so many people lined up and but that's my frustration occurs in that when I see like, gosh, if I'm watching through multiple cameras outside the store, inside and outside the store, I'm like, man, there's a client that's walking through the door and the convention is still going on in the corner.
Yeah, the one you were talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, maybe they don't really realize there's a client there. Maybe I should install a door ding, like a ding dong door ding or something. But at the mall, there's no door to pull.
Oh, it's just like open?
Yeah, it's just open so clients walk in. I've watched clients like walk in, pick up like, we don't see it anymore, but the hoverboard boxes, it's like a box for a hoverboard. How big is it? I think it's about,
What's the size of that box?
except
Just
3
longer.
times longer, yeah. So client picks it up and just walks out the store with it.
What?
Yeah, there was 4 or 5 employees inside of the store. And I just kind of watched it through the camera to see how could they miss it, So I sent a message for the store managers that were inside the store at the time and said, hey, after I allowed it to happen, I said, are you guys aware that a hoverboard is missing from the store? It's like, it's not something like small. Like this, it's a very huge thing. So they were on a hunt for it for a little bit. And then the blame game starts. Who wasn't watching what, It was like a mid-60s, late 60s grandma that took it too.
Oh no! Oh my gosh.
It's like
not
the
a
most,
grandma.
it's the most unbelievable thing to see. It was like a grandma just picks it up and it's about this big, picks it up with both arms and just walks right out the store with it.
Not a grandma.
Yeah, just so that so people can see how amazing the story can be. Like, what? Right when you least expect it. So that I don't know. That stuff would, but that's a whole nother level altogether. I to ask guys to be that compassionate and that loving for their company, it's another whole level altogether. I guess the conversation got really, really off topic because you're asking like, each individual person that worked inside of it was, designated as managers and as high-level associates. you know, pay rate was something that they're comfortable with, but they're not at the desired level, at the comfort level, at the desired level and the drive level of, you know, six-figure income,
Yeah.
you know? So
Right.
if they had a six-figure income and the hoverboard affected their personal pockets,
They would feel differently.
it would, yeah, it'd be,
I think
there wouldn't
anybody,
be any
yeah.
conventions and, you know, it'd be like, yeah, as soon as that customer comes in, that's another shot at my six figures, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, can I polish your shoes? Can I, you know, what else can I do? And then the lessons on qualifying the customers are kicking really fast too. It's like, if a client isn't contributing toward your six-figure salary, do you really want to
Invest.
polish their
Yeah,
shoes?
invest so much. Of,
Yeah.
like the catering aspects.
Yeah. You're here trying to deliver your emotions, your thoughts, trying to, you know, hey, how's your day? Or huge birthday is coming up, and the person loves your company so much, they're going to hang out and keep pulling from your company, your $500 therapeutic sessions. And meanwhile, you got the other guy over there who's might be miscategorized as like the cherry picker. But is he a cherry picker or is he a qualifier, you know, qualifying the clients?
That's true.
He sees a client, he's like, you know, he's able to identify these things a little bit better, right? Spots it from a distance. He's like, oh, somebody who pulled up in a Maserati, somebody with a three-piece suit, somebody, you know, he identifies them as like a so-called prime client, you know? Boom, 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 I'm going to help out the prime client. And another client comes in to...
And they're not as eager, maybe.
They're not as prime, or they're subprime. And then the other master salesperson who isn't so skilled at qualifying clients are like, well, I'm going to put my 100% drive into this client because I've been coached by another master salesperson to say, you know, give your 100%. So they're spending 30 minutes deep. And the client keeps on saying, yeah, can you show me this? Can you show me that? Can you show me this? I ran into that problem before, you know, where a client would go store to store, not just my store, but to other stores too. And I've seen it with my eyes. I'm like, they visit Radio Shack, spend about 35 minutes there, go to Rack Room Shoes, spend about 30 minutes there. That's their form of entertainment and social intermingling with people. Instead of going to bars, they go to places to just, not without the intention of purchasing, of course. It's the intention of just driving a conversation to see how long they can drive the conversation. I wonder if there's a particular name for that type of behavior. But since I didn't know about this particular person just yet, I just don't know. I've been doing so-called sales for like 15 or 20 years, and I've invested about 30 to 45 minutes showing this product, showing that product. You know, 2 or 3 other employees have helped 2 or 3 other clients in between, so that's about 9 clients, and I'm still with this one guest. So then it stuck memorably inside my head. I was like, okay, mark this person, this exact person off in my memory. So when they come again, you know, I would use it for training material for my guys to say, okay, here's how you identify subprime clients, you know, unless it's in your personal interest. If it is in your personal interest to spend 3 or 4 hours, I'm sorry, not 3 or 4, it was about 45 minutes. If it is, and you don't want to hurt the company, you don't want to hurt anybody, just, you know, make the announcement. You know, oh, just one, looks like everything's okay. there's projects pending, but I really want to spend 45 minutes with this particular person. It's almost like going on a date with them, though, you know?
That is true.
Whether guy or girl, you're basically going on a personal date with them. You know, so should the company pay for your personal date? Should you bill everyone else? Like, hey, everyone, I'd like to go on a friend date with somebody. If you feel so, then and other people support it, then you know, let it be so. But is it financially like good for the company, good for the client? Everyone has personal needs.
Yeah.
Don't turn your personal needs into the so-called draw other people into your personal needs, I would say. Trying to think about how that goes. I don't want to categorize, say the visitor Paul as one of them. Actually, I feel like he's so thought-provoking. I feel like we gain as a whole in his thought-provokingness, you know. But there was a visitor that I clearly remember at a Run Mills Mall where it's like, oh, there's no real positive gain out of it. After the client left, you just feel drained, I would say. You're like, yeah, it's like they make you, they build up your hopes and promises that they're going to buy something, and then they just don't. They're just like, oh, that looks interesting. I might just buy that. Yeah, I might just buy that. But then they don't, you know. And when that occurs more than, you know, oh, can you show me that? That I want to buy that too. Oh, can you show me that? You know, after you get to your fifth item, you're. This is the times in which I'm studying my time of how can I be as efficient as possible in a 3-minute window. So 30 minutes is like 10 times 30 already.
Yeah. Literally 10 times.
Yeah. So you internally, as a business owner and as somebody who's, you know, trying to work so hard to support the rest of the team, you know, it's like the rest of the team may not be able to pull as strong as me. So if I've invested 30 minutes into a client and they didn't purchase, and the rest of the team is depending on me to pull it, it really frustrates me. I feel like, oh gosh, 30 minutes of like, you know, expert level, highest grade level. In 30 minutes, I should be able to convert $300 or $500, and I get zero. I get really drained out of it. And if that happens more than once, more than twice, and I don't feel positive about it, it leaves a pretty deep impression on my head.
Yeah.
So, but it's a little bit different if you don't have that mindset. It's not as high pressure, you know. It's like whether I make the sale or don't make the sale, I get paid the same. So that's where it's like,
Right.
you know, so.
No, like my thought process is like, even I think more on Sundays, because it's like on Sundays I know that they used to just be closed before, but on Sundays I want to make them count almost.
Yeah.
To another degree, it's like I feel like they're important. Like out of all of these days, I feel like the days that I work Sunday are the most important, at least to me. Because it's just a matter of like, okay, this is what I can do, not just for, you know, myself, but like, I feel like I add value to a degree. But it's like, on days where I don't execute on Sunday, I think I'm extra tough because I'm like, no, it was in my hands. It feels like.
You're saying that Sunday is your day to shine. It's like this is your day to,
It's
you know.
Sunday shine day.
Yeah, Sunday shine day. It's like
shine day, not Sunday. It's shine day.
it's shine day because everybody else is, you know, they're. This is your day to say, I'm gonna pull my weight and the weight of others. You know, I sense that. It's like same here. Some people see it as like a negative thing because they're like, oh gosh.
I don't want to like make it about myself, but like I want to leave like a piece of my history, like Sundays.
Sundays, that's my day to shine. Yeah.
Shine day.
Yeah. That's always a good feeling. That's what drives me to do what I do too. It's like.
That's not to say I'm not trying to shine any other day, but it's like I'm very like it's almost like a personal like challenge, like how much can Sunday do?
Yeah.
Because at least from what you told me, it's like Sundays were closed before.
Yeah.
So it's like even let's say there's 4 Sundays in a month. How impactful can I be 4 days out of the month?
Yeah. That's a good thought process to think. Sometimes people will feel like they need to own everything. But if you owned just a certain time slot, say, I will own that time slot. And the guys that work around me are my partners in the business. Sometimes the partners can help you build that momentum. They're your partners. The guys you work with are your partners and also your competitors, believe it or not. And I don't mean that in a negative way.
Right.
Like when I see John, he's just a partner, a competitor, and a partner. Competitor, not in a negative way. It's like he's just literally like I think I can, if I was given a couple hours, I can probably walk there. I can definitely jog there, but walk there.
Take them a while.
Yeah,
It's a busy road too.
It's not that far away. So he's like right around the corner. So he doesn't have that negative energy, negative vibes. So sometimes, some cohorts, partners or whatever like that. It's just like you almost want to stay out of their way, But I don't feel that with John. So same thing. The room inside here, it's like they're your partners at work. He works there, you work here. Glance up every so often. Sometimes we're helping to make each other's sales. We're supporting each other. We're doing things through guiding principles. Good moral ethics. And I've conditioned you guys to say, work together as a team to help each other out because we're getting government support, right? Government support, which is myself. I'm paying out. That's the government support, But in reality, it would be best if each person really understands what's going on and say, hey, look past just the so-called government support of hourly rate from the so-called boss. I think people always see me as a boss, but really what I am is just putting people in position to sustain themselves, And the corporate world doesn't allow you to think such thoughts. The corporate world is about don't think these philosophical thoughts. Just you've given a set of instructions, execute per instruct. Keep it simple. Don't clutter your mind too much. It takes a great deal of training to put these thoughts into people, Mm-hmm. So with corporate America, it's all about, can you flip that burger between these hours and this hour? Mm-hmm. If you can flip it, good.
It's almost like robotic. It's just like a matter of do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
Check mark, check mark, check mark.
Yeah.
No deep thinking, just check.
Well, they don't want deep thinking because.
And if you do deep thinking, it's like, no, you didn't get hired for this.
Right. We don't need your vote. We don't. You're cluttering up the system. Don't think any of those thoughts because, Yeah, exactly that. You're not hired for this. We need you to pull your load, and your load means flipping these patty twice within a 15-minute window, and that's it. You follow, you stay focused, and don't think any other thoughts. So sometimes I get so drawn and so passionate about different types of thinking that it spills on over to the associates. So I think you're 23, 24. I've even shared these thoughts with like people who are like 16, 15, 16, and initially they get excited about it, but how excited can you be on these sort of thoughts? You know, as you're getting formal training, formal schooling.
Yeah.
And formal schooling is all about that, you know. It's like everything is like here, focused within these 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Don't look this way, don't look that way. In order to get your grade, you have to concentrate it on just what directly in front of you, you know? Mm-hmm. So as I try to coach my guys to be entrepreneurs, to be business owners, to learn to be passionate about it, there's contra teachings in the formal system, you know? The formal system is all about learn how to be the ideal employee. And if you're the ideal employee, you're supporting the economy, the system, because you're a so-called worker ant, is it? You know, you carry your load. You know, you're expected to carry 2,000 pounds more, 2,000 times more than what you weigh.
Yeah, that's the like the Bug's Life. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah. So that is, when you go through formal schooling, that's what's expected of you. You're expected to contribute as a kind of a bug or something in a bug's life, a worker bee, worker ant, which is no problem. I admire that too, but if that's one's mindset, then I'd like to know about it so that I can say, well, you like to pull 2,000 times your weight. Sheesh. I can't. I'm not able to do that, so I could use that strength. But sometimes people just get so excited listening to the stories, and if you are willing to listen to it without being drawn into, without incurring too much cost, I'm willing to share. Like, yeah, this is how you motivate oneself to say, it's not just worker bee mentality. You know, I come in and I make it happen. You know, it's just so. You'll see me sometimes. You look at it, you're like, huh? How in the world did that customer buy what they bought? You know, given with what he does, it's a lot of conditioning, a lot of training, and even technical solutions. It's the same thing. It's like, how did he know which door to choose between those 5 doors?
Yeah.
You know, was it a lucky guess? But if it was a lucky guess, how did he line it up well ahead? You know.
Yeah.
You know, I line it up to the point where it's like, okay, guys, take all your wild guesses. I have it written down over here. You know, after you guys take your guess, I'm going to reveal it. You know, just so you guys know, it's already known ahead of time. So whether it's technical solutions or whether it's like the winning of a client's vote, when people don't know it any better, they believe that it's just luck. They're like, oh, he seems to get all the lucky sales. That's if my so-called students have a positive note on it. Mm-hmm. But if they don't have a positive note, they'll call it cherry picking. He only picks out the best ones.
No, I think it's just a matter of, I think it's confidence. For me, at least right now, it's like, there's a lot of factors. I think confidence.
Confidence is one of them, that's for sure.
There's definitely a lot of factors.
Yeah, confidence is one of them.
It's like confidence, knowledge, understanding what the desire for the solution or the desire reason to even walking through the store.
Yeah.
Listening, understanding. There's a lot.
Yeah. I always coach my guys to say that. What is it that the client once when they're walking through the store. And then to make it easier for you guys, just presume that people just want that special feeling, that that feeling of being special. Just presume that they want to come in for that $500 therapeutic session. And if you know ahead of time that they won't be supporting us financially or supporting oneself financially, keep that in mind. Sometimes it's not about the finances either.
It's not.
It's not. So if you want to, say, clock out or, say, hey, I want to release financial burden from the company. I really want to, go out on a date with this client. Male or female, you're okay. You can go out on a date with them. No one is going to, you're free and clear. Dude, I encourage guys to do that too. The younger guys, they're like, hey, they're blushing their face. I said, hey, well, we know we have acquired our system. A phone number through the computer system, but it's just a courtesy to, pull her off to the side and ask her if it's okay to give her a call, or just ask for her permission. Don't pull it out of the system.
Yeah, that would be kind of creepy.
One of my guys did do that. I was like, oh boy, I turned so red and like embarrassment, because the gal's dad called and said, hey, one of your associates text messaged my daughter. And I'm like, oh boy. But I guess he was so enamored by her, like, irresistible, the thought process, like, oh gosh, dreamlike state. Can't let the opportunity slip.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But that's happened before, and I'm like, hey, just maybe even if you have to follow her out the door or something like that, just it's more courteous and polite to ask them for permission before you pull a number. Yeah. I guess for them, it's some people it's a calculated risk that they I must do this.
Right.
Yeah. I sometimes those things pop up and yeah, no, that's kind of
provokes a lot of thought process.
Yeah, I've ran into that in the past before, and I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, multiple times, and you're just like, yeah, and you're pretty intriguing. Can I? Do I? Is it okay if we hang out after work or something like that? It's not uncommon,
I don't know. The way I'm usually the person who always asks, believe it or not. Not a lot of people. I don't think I move a lot of people. But I guess what I mean by that is, like, I don't think I move a lot of people. I guess
move or woo.
I guess both. I don't know.
Woo and move, he said.
But
woo.
Yeah, if I'm ever intrigued by somebody, I always kind of just, hey, like, do you have social media? I don't really like to give out my phone number for personal reasons, but I'm just like, hey, do you have social media? Like, and usually they do, and I just, okay, cool, can I follow you? And we just kind of stay connected that way, and we'll have a cool conversation. But I don't get that as often as I used to. Maybe it's because I'm sheltering myself more, but yeah, it's that's how I don't know. I guess it's different for a lady and a male sometimes.
A lady and a man's wooing style.
Yeah, my style of wooing is a little less, I don't know.
It's another.
A little less obvious, maybe.
It's another whole, like, subject of interest altogether. for some guys, it's not about the relationship. It's about winning the affirmations. Like winning the date is the fun part. But afterwards, they don't really go out on a date. They just wanted to see if
They could.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, but
Oh my gosh, don't say that, Mr. Left.
you know,
They
you said it,
could.
not me. Yeah, it's not about. Yeah, it's just seeing if they could or
Not
not.
about the wanting to go on a date. It's just.
Yeah,
I wonder if I could.
I think a lot of women are like that too, to kind of reaffirm their beauty. It's like, oh, it's not about going on a date with the man. They just wanted to see if a man would ask them out for a date. So they're like, yeah, just another person asking me for my number.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I can see that too.
Yeah. So sometimes the guys are like that too. It's like, yeah, it's too much work to actually go on a date and costs too much, but I just want to see if she'll give me her number.
Yeah.
You know? It's like a challenge for them that they would enjoy.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna take anybody's asking me out on a date ever serious now. You're like, oh, you want to take me out on a date? Is it because you actually want to take me out on a date, or just because you're waiting to see if you think you can?
Yeah.
No, I've done plenty of dating in my earlier days. I'm an old woman now.
Yeah.
That is behind me. But I just remember how I told you I liked adventures?
Mm-hmm.
I would come up with the craziest date ideas.
Yeah.
I took a gentleman fishing one time. I say gentleman, but I took him fishing one time, and he didn't know how to bait his line, so I had to do it for him.
Yeah. Sounds like me. I'm like,
And he was like, "You're a lot braver than I am." I was like, "No, you're just not used to it. It's okay." But I think I kind of turned him down for a lot of other reasons. He just seemed like we just weren't compatible. So
yeah.
just save us both some time and energy, and let's just stay friends. And they didn't really take a liking to that, so.
Yeah. I remember I tried fishing. It seemed so fun, except for hooking the worm one. I was like, ah.
Yeah. I cut the bait in half too, so I just grabbed the worm and just
Yeah.
cut it in half.
The way it wriggles around and all that, it's I don't know. I've never really liked things that are. I'm kind of phobic against those things that don't have any limbs.
Ah, okay.
So if I go fishing, whether it's like, a cohort or male or female that goes with me, I would ask them to help me
Yeah.
hook the bait for me. So
Yeah.
that goes to show how good of a fisherman I am.
No, but I think he told me I was just very memorable. He's like, I've never, had someone take me out on a date fishing, and because I guess I took him on a date. He didn't necessarily take me on a date. I was the one who was planning everything. But yeah, I took someone to a shooting range one time. I took someone go-kart racing. Pretty adventurous when it comes to that stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't always just let people take me out. I think the only time someone has taken me out has been like once or twice. But I'm usually the one with the plans. So
The initiator.
yeah, I usually I'm the one with the ideas, plans, and hey, you want to do this? No, yes, okay, cool.
Yeah. Got it.
Maybe I'm just I don't know.
The initiator, the aggressor.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah.
aggressor.
Yeah.
That's funny. But
Yeah.
no, I'm pretty quiet. I'm pretty reserved. I don't engage in a lot really. I'm pretty quiet and chill.
Mm.
Yeah, like the party scenes are not too much for me. get overwhelmed with too many people. I think I pick up on their energy too much.
Yeah.
So like if there's ever any, I don't know, any disputes, I kind of just shy away into my little shell and I'm like, no, I don't feel comfortable, I want to go home.
Yeah.
So, particular about my time and place and all that stuff. It's important to me.
Yeah.
Protect myself.
Mm-hmm. Time is one thing you can't buy back in life, so you gotta.
I'm sorry?
Time is the one thing you can't buy back in life.
That's right.
Can't really just, let it sink away, Man, that looks so bad. That little hanging edge on that side.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's still just there.
The hanging edge over here.
I see.
Yeah. It looks like it's not even now. Now that everything else kind of looks
Yeah.
more perfect now, I'm like nitpicking on that little edge. And pretty soon I'm probably going to remove it because the tape isn't even centered down the seam.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's how OCD I get sometimes, People,
Yeah.
It drives people crazy because they're like, hey, I painted walls 2,000 times already. Why are you so picky about some stuff behind a cabinet that no one else is going to see?
I can be, I don't know if it's OCD. I don't think I have OCD. I don't know. But I can be very particular about certain things. It's quite annoying. I don't really tell people about it though, but like I don't know. I understand to my own degree, I should say.
Yeah. I'll see it. I'll see how when you lay things out, I'm like, man, this is, she's got that same condition as I do,
Yeah. You want me to wash maybe that one?
Which one?
The green one?
If you like. I don't.
Yeah.
If you like, no big deal.
That's broken.
It is from too much heat.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah, on both sides.
Oh.
Both sides.
Oh.
Yep.
I like this green one. I don't know, the color is just so pretty.
The green one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really have it in this size.
Is this one that rolls?
I think it is. It's probably because. Oh, I don't know why.
I think it's this frame, maybe too. It's like either too small and it's pushing it up on.
Let's see. What brand is this? One of them is. This one is Target. And this one is Walmart. So the Target ones are not really sitting as well as the Walmart ones. But it's causing a little bit of complications, I would say. We can make the green ones, cut them out manually, but they don't sell it as mass production pre-cut.
This one slides.
Which one?
This one?
It slides around, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that. And this one over here doesn't look good on pictures because of the air bubbles. When I take the pictures for social media or for presentation, we can see that it's bubbled up. You know, it's like makes it look imperfect. I'll see some people's TikToks and YouTubes, and I'm like, wow, their work area sure is kind of yucky looking. You know, understandably that it is a real work environment, but. I guess people can kind of say the same thing about my work area outside of the mats. But as far as the mats goes, I like to keep them like super clean because sometimes when we're troubleshooting things, it just helps to see it that much better when it's like, when it doesn't look like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can almost see, even though I have bad vision, bad eyesight, I'm like, oh. You can almost see it from 6 feet away when there's like a little tiny component that's like...
That's out of, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Where would you want me to put this one again?
I don't even know where I pulled it from.
It was right under
this.
These two. It's too big.
Too big for that style, huh? It almost reminds me of the size of this one right here, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if, what if we put it under here? Maybe not like this, but... Maybe underneath. I don't know though.
Yeah, may not be necessary. Once again, if we have to consider like streamlining. If it's not necessary, we take it down. If it's just for the sake of prettying it up, sometimes it may not be good enough just for prettying it up, you know?
Yeah.
Everything that I do tries to satisfy making it look pretty and also functional.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't seem like it, does it? It's like, well, you make a lot of stuff kind of cluttered and unpleasant looking. I'm like, well, you know, it's a work in progress. If you guys want to participate, focus on that in mind. Like, how can we make it functional and good looking? You know, I always want to welcome energy in those aspects. Like, if you guys are willing to do it, execute it, don't need my permission, make it look better, but also consider like how it affects your rubber band. Also understand how it affects others around oneself too, you know? Mm-hmm. Because it's like our intentions are to make things better, make it prettier. But just like Apple and their design philosophy, they know that if you make too many changes too quickly, it'll confuse people, you know? Samsung's their design philosophy is like constant innovation, constant improvements, but sometimes what I've seen is they switch their power button from one side to the other. And to a person who's been using it for training condition their life, it's like asking somebody to switch from right-handedness to left-handed. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Yeah.
Mr.
So for
Brad
you,
is left-handed.
yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So for you, you're like, all right, all my tools now have turned into left-handed tools. You'll feel really frustrated, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like that, so. Yeah. I take space designing and all that. I think so many of these thoughts, it hinders me sometimes. I'm like, oh, if majority of my guys are left-handed and I'm the only person who's right-handed, I might have to design a workspace as long as they're committed to it. If I know that these are lifetime committed guys, it only makes sense to design it, the workspace, in a left-handed fashion, you know, even if I'm right-handed. So little things like that, which is why when I'm not moving forward as I'm inducting new people, I have to think, you know, long term, you know, because it's like you're designing around them, you're designing a whole space around them, you're designing the future around them.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, when I went through 2,000, 3,000 employees, I'm still in the, you know, well, let me learn human behavior. Predict human behavioral pattern. It's like sometimes people think that I'm somewhat evil for that. I'm like, well, it's the study of humans, you know. What I've learned in psychology class is one thing. That's what I learned in the books. But when you're trying to study in real life world, that you know, that you gotta, I gotta test those theories in real life environment. I kind of got lost in my thoughts on that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Where would you want me to put this, actually?
Yeah, I think we had batteries. It probably gets lost in here. It's starting to get cleaned out over here. A whole bunch of wire ties, huh? Thank you. Okay. Oh, there's some over here already. Can't scatter them. Pink, huh? There's even another one here. I wonder what size these are. Probably the same size as that. And do we need more of these panels too? I find it useful to be able to transport from there to here as a whole piece, which isn't new to me, but it's new to us at this location, to be able to pick it up and say, well, here we go, you know?
I think this is the same size as the one. This one's just a little smaller.
It's not compatible to here.
No.
Looks pretty, but the problem is trying to align it. Oh, maybe this will work. No, it slips around too much.
Mm-hmm. This feels big. Just the way that it folds.
All this research and development, it costs money to get these things. But if I don't get it, we don't try it, we don't know. I don't even think that. I don't think the other guys have it just yet.
Mm-mm.
Neither U-Break nor T-Mobile nor any other facilities. But as you're using, you're like, you're starting to see the benefits. You know?
The color contrast.
Imagine this area is your.
My station.
Yeah, just
hard.
that. Yeah. Have you tried it before?
No.
I
don't think I would want to.
Yeah, it'll drive you crazy. You're like, it hurts your eyes because you can't really see the screws. I don't know. Maybe some people who don't know, so they'll do it. But for me, I'm like, I just can't. I've tried it before. And a white surface I've tried before as well.
It's too much on the eyes too, I feel.
Yeah, the blue is just a little bit easier in the eyes. The red one time I tried the red.
I feel like that is similar to
The white, yeah, it was.
The white.
It hurts eyes.
At least that's what I would assume.
Yeah.
Because it's like the only thing that I think of when I think of white is have you ever gone outside to play in the snow, and then when you come inside, everything looks pink.
Something like that, yeah.
So
It
it's like
definitely
the
hurts my eyes, yeah.
Yeah. I think the same thing happens.
I like how this is pivoted so that when we're taking a picture, we can kind of see. Even though we're phasing out of picture taking, we have the GoPros now. But it's just, if we want to send a point, it's so clear. Whereas that, when it's sitting upright.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You got to have that.
Yeah. I try to think of how I got this one. This is a car mount, but that's cracked. That's cracked over here. I'm gonna have to cut a hole, which incurs more work. This one's just lifted up, which eventually I'll probably cut a hole. All these little thoughts, huh?
Yeah, I see.
Maybe I'll use this. It's kind of gaudy looking, but you know. Until we get another one of those. These little clamp mounts are pretty nice. There's no way around these stands. Did you use stands and I'm sorry, heat guns or not really?
Yes.
A little bit.
Not
T-Mobile didn't, huh?
Not that often, no. Hardly
Yeah.
ever.
I feel like a majority of the other companies are using heat mats.
Yes.
Because I noticed other people from other companies, and I even get criticism online about it too. They're like, man, just use a heat mat. Make sure it comes out just like butter. And I've tested it over and over again. Every single time somebody challenges it to me, I'm like, if you can get it faster from start to finish with a heat mat and incurring less damage, I'll consider training myself to do it. But
yeah, I mean, at T-Mobile we had the Okta, the Samsung remover, so that was really helpful. But we had that at U-Break iFix, but we didn't use it. We used the mats.
The Okta was at U-Break as well?
It was, yeah. But ours was broken, and I put in a request like 3 times to get it fixed, and nobody ever fixed it, so it became obsolete.
But as far as Okta goes, if you do a timed run from start to end,
it's like 15 minutes.
It's still faster to use a heat gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's coming from your own personal observation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I can, with a mat, it still takes me like 5 to 10 minutes.
Right. And that's with the mat preheated.
Yeah. And with a heat gun, it's just like, I think it's just faster. But not only that, but it's like, you also don't burn your hands as often either. Because on a mat, it's like you're setting it down and then it distributes it throughout the whole device. So when you pick it back up, it's like, ouch, 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 hot, 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 hot.
Which is okay too if it's like, you can overcome that with a set of gloves. If you're like, okay, it's heating up, boom, throw it on the mat. If heating it up, firing it up, and you can get it off on under, I'll say 3 minutes. from the point of, even if it's preheated already, right? Laying it down 3 minutes, putting on a set of gloves. Actually, no, some of these back glasses, they come off like under a minute. I've had Mr. Nick measure me. I was like, all right, here comes a brand new one coming in. More than once. It's like under a minute.
I've had some of those instances as well where...
Yeah, even with the mat, right? Just comes right off.
With like a heat gun, I mean, it just depends, I guess, on like...
On the adhesive.
Yeah, I was going to say the adhesive is a big factor.
Yeah, depends on how how compressed it is together, but...
Yeah, because there's been, I mean, I'm thinking of like Samsung S10s, where I literally just heated it up, and it was like, in like 30 seconds I was done.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. And then others I'm like spending 5 minutes scraping away. It seems like it's like nothing is happening.
But I think in general, in the whole spread across the industry, it seems people train easier and faster with the heat mat, and that's why they've gone that route. If I wanted to replicate and duplicate myself or this concept, it would have been with the heat mat. But as far as me personally, like I haven't been able to go with, sub 30 seconds with the heat mat, unless it was like already opened. If it was like opened by someone else already, obviously it's like, heat mat or heat gun, it's like, pops right off.
Yeah.
Like those are under 3 seconds, under 5 seconds if there's no adhesive on there.
Yeah.
But if it's like factory adhesive, sub 30 seconds is like, if I was given 5 phones from the factory, 2 out of 5 would come out under 30 seconds.
The other 3.
Yeah, the other 3 is like closer to the 3 to 5 minute marker, which is, that's still like, that's still, it takes about 45 seconds for the heat. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the heat mat to heat up, distribute the heat, I feel like if I were to time it, it takes about 45 seconds or a minute for it to heat up. And after that, it takes time for the phone to heat up. So that's a guaranteed minute to 3 minutes that you lose on the preheating up phase.
Yeah, and I know the heating mat that we had at Uber Graphics took exactly 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, so as soon as you would start it, there was a timer, 10 minutes, and then 59, or 9:59, 9:58, 9:57. It would take 10 minutes, and then beep! It would beep. And then when you heard the first beep, you were like, okay, place it on there. And then you would wait another 5 minutes. And then it would beep again.
So that's 15 minutes.
It would beep again, and then you'd be like, oh, okay. And then you'd pick it up. When you would hear the beep, 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 it was constant. The first beep was one loud, extended beep saying that it's ready. Then when it was actually ready for it to be out of there, it was beep, 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 beep. So it was like, okay.
Yeah. So if one was to do it as if, hey, I'm a technician, I have a full hour to do this, and it's just the heating up process is part of it. They're doing no wrong because they're just doing it per hamburger flipping instructions, It's like, you have 30 minutes for it to heat up, and 15 minutes, it's real live time, you're still ahead of schedule, But in a situation like we're training right now, or I'm training right now, it's like, hey, make every single minute, every single second count, so that you do have that flexibility to say, done with my work. If I want to go on a
date with the client.
Yeah, I can. You can, exactly. How are these things falling? Let's see. Are rubber bands falling? Sounds so funny, right?
Going on a date with the client?
Yeah, I'm not going on a date with the client. I'm just asking him or her some questions about their day to help add value to the sale. And then yeah, there's certain times you just don't challenge it. You just say, well, okay, you know. But on people with a mind that wants to hear it, you know, that's where you discuss it and say, oh, is it really adding to the sale? Or is it adding to one's own personal interest?
Yeah, that's true. Where is it? Where is the value going?
Which one?
I said, where is the value going? To sell it to the...
Yeah. And I've had that in the past before. And then some people, when they reflect deeply upon it enough, they're like, oh, you know, you're right. It was in my own self-interest.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's okay too. But as long as you understand that, and as long as you understand that your time here with me is as such, and I've personally adjusted it as such, you know? If you're coming in here $6 an hour, $8 an hour, because you want to, you know, poke around with some clients and for the interest of trying to get some phone numbers so you can take home and, you know, add to your speed dial.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, what are the intentions?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes. Understand that, but don't try to get don't come to me with frustrations about it. You know, like, hey, you know, am I come here to get paid or is it social hour? Well, you got to ask yourself. You know, are you coming here for your own self-interest, for your own, like, you know, addition to friends at work or friends that walks through the door, clients? Mm-hmm. Or you here for, you know, yeah, so you have to reflect deeply upon oneself, you know, and at that point, then you can release your boss, your superior, whoever it is around you. You're like, hey, the dark cloud, they're not the ones that's causing the so-called pain and suffering. A dark cloud from within oneself, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, because sometimes, as I've mentioned to you before, people get frustrated because they're frustrated their life. So the person that's in their immediate surrounding gets an elbow in the eye.
Yeah, they're just like, what?
Yeah, I'm frustrated.
Yeah, take it out on the wrong person.
That, you know, it's so my theory is that if kids are growing up in an abusive environment, well, you know, most likely from parental abuse or something like that, chances are that will happen in their work place as well. You know, like the boss is almost considered like a parent to oneself. You know, so it's like a different version of one's parent. So it's like, oh, I got abused or hurt when I was a kid. I got to find ways to retaliate, you know? And since my mother or father isn't here for me to retaliate, who's the next person to retaliate?
Yeah, still in the closest vicinity of you.
Yeah, exactly. So that one's a tough one to overcome, honestly. I've in the past tried to overcome that one. Tried to like absorb that one, but it's a tough one. You know, it's like you can only absorb so many, you know, accidental knocks and elbows in your eye where you're like, you know, I can't take it anymore, you know. It's like a bully. Well, if you're getting bullied around a lot, there's a certain point in time where you're like, you're gonna have to stand up for yourself. So, as a boss, you get bullied. You know, if you don't, I don't know if you've been in a position. You've been in a position. Bullied? Yeah, well, everyone's been bullied, but to be a supervisor and get bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, people will say negative things about you about your position, or place doubts upon your knowledge, upon the way you speak. Oh man, there's so many ways to bully a supervisor, bully a boss. So it's like.
Yeah, I think I told you my experience with something like that at You Break I Fix.
Uh-huh.
They just kind of were like, Well, if you're not gonna do how I tell you, where's your resignation?
Oh, that's a bully from your supervisor.
Yeah.
But you can also get bullied by your subordinates.
Yeah, that's true.
So people don't realize it. They're like, how are you going to get bullied and pushed around by your own subordinates?
Yeah.
If they're your subordinates, you can either suspend them or terminate them because you're the boss, aren't you? Or you're not the boss. I'm like, hey, man, sometimes, people only wear the title of boss, but it's the people that's underneath of them that's controlling them. So, people say the same thing about presidents, right? They're only presidents by title, but who really controls them,
Yeah, that's a very good point, honestly.
Yeah.
Very, very valid point.
Yeah. Yeah. Give it enough time, you'll end up hearing me talk nonstop about,
No, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. I came into work to work, and here you are talking my ears off.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I don't expect you to continue talking to me and talk my ears off anymore, boss. Just kidding. So I noticed something with Mr. Brad's tools, because we're using metallic mats now. Those little magnetizers actually don't move around anymore.
Whiskey Blues, is that music that you listen to?
Huh?
There's Whiskey Blues, it says jazz and blues.
I don't know.
Blues music.
I don't know. What?
It's just on here for like the YouTube. It's like recommendations.
Oh, I don't think it was mine. I think it might have been like because the YouTube YouTube's pretty smart. It's like Google. It's like they're like partners with each other.
Yeah, they are.
So Google's like I was telling that airline gentleman, Google's artificial intelligence, it is like the machine that is out to co-mingle and coexist with us.
Yeah.
So it's
scary.
Yeah, it's studying our emails.
If you Google something, you'll usually
it studies
get
your
like
search.
Yeah.
It studies our mind as a whole, as a human being race. It's studying us so deep that super deep. So since YouTube is part of Google, they're like partners with each other. They're like best friends, machine best friends.
Yeah.
So YouTube knows me just as much as I wouldn't say that. Not just me. Knows our collective group. Me, you, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's as we're streaming, because it's actually commanding us, speaking to us through other means, like, oh, you're going to hook up a camera to your chest and you're going to stream for me to see. It's watching me. It's watching you.
It is.
And we're like,
blindly.
We will do
the
work for you, YouTube. It's inevitable. I don't know how to, we can always turn it off and say, well, I'm going to turn everything off and I'm just going to go fishing for the rest of my life, and I'm going to, like I was telling the guy with that works at Southwest, is it that realistic for us to survive out in the wilderness and, survive with just a shovel and a tree branch trying to catch a fish?
Yeah.
It looks pretty amazing. It looks pretty like, wow, cool, but you go out and build a little shelter with like some tree branches, put some leaves on top. You try to live like that for 1 day, 2 days out in the cold. And you're like, no, I'm coming back into your bonds machine, Yeah. It's inevitable. We're just getting married and bonded with the machines as cyborgs. Well, can be seen as a positive thing or negative thing. Where my thought process, and I've told this to some of my other guys who's partnered up with me in the past, is that we're slowly going on a slow migration towards being mechanized. First, we're going to go on a transition of being part man, part machine, just like cyborgs. And eventually, we're just going to the biological aspect of it is so predated and outdated. The machines might even allow us to exist as regular humans. They were like, well, let's just coexist. Don't be too evil to them. But we'll just be another species, just like how monkeys and apes are, We don't, there's enough of the world to say, well, we can coexist with the monkeys and apes. But the machine will just look at us and say, oh, they're just monkey and ape species. They're the all machine, they'll probably run and last for like 1,000 years, 10,000 years at a time. Machines are rebuildable,
Yeah. Their parts are easier to replace too. They're not as fragile.
Yeah. And their memory.
A heart transplant, that's risky within itself.
Their memory and knowledge is just like copy, paste. Copy, paste. Whereas with us, for us to pass on our memories and our teachings and our traditions, there's a period where we have to hit the reset button, At about 100 years, you have to
clear the cache.
Yeah, you have to delete everything and restart, and there's a loss of information when you hit the reset button. The machines don't really have to do that. They're just like copy, paste, and whether it's good memory or bad memory, it's all knowledge to them. They keep reacquiring. So eventually there's going to be another super species that develop that's going to be a super species. I say super, but a species of evolution where it's just machines. Fully machine. Could be 100, could be 10,000 years, could be 100,000 years, but it's not. How can we reject that from our forecast to say that that's never going to happen? Machines are never going to be completely like sentient and smart like humans. We're nothing but biological machines. We're, those neurons inside our heads are just on and off, on and off.
They're just like receptors, just picking up and then.
Yeah, they're just switches. But then they say, hey, within one's own body, there's spirit, there's consciousness, there's. Then at that point, who knows? Maybe there is like an existence of conscientiousness to say. That's all talk about, like ghost form, spirit form, and all that, which I don't know enough to even speculate on. It's like.
Yeah, I wouldn't know enough about it, that information to even feel comfortable about talking about it.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah, at that point, it's another whole talk altogether.
Yeah.
Once we die, as far as our biological body form goes, does our mental state continue to exist, but in a spiritual state that floats around from body to body, and it goes on to exist into a dimension altogether? I don't know. It's all, these are all speculations. It makes us like feel like so
insignificant.
Yeah, that's a word. I'm
insignificant.
Yeah, here I am polishing this table, aspiring so hard to get this car and that car, and then I'm like, man, I'm an insignificant thought, that blip that just came for a period of like 50 to 100 years, no more than 100 years, and come and go. That's it.
Yeah.
You start thinking depressing thoughts at that point. You're like, man, what is the purpose?
Down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, it's like, what did I come here for again?
Right.
The purpose of existence. Sheesh.
That's on a. That's a whole nother.
Doesn't bother me anymore. I'm like, there's enough entertainment for me day to day where I'm like, I don't think such negative thoughts. But as a teenager, it's like, what is the purpose of existence in the first place? It's, oh boy. There's enough enjoyable things day to day where you don't really have to suffer with negative thoughts anymore, or at least not for me. I think some other people, though, unfortunately, I feel bad for them. But
yeah, there's some people who like, even just like thinking about these things is like is tough for them, because it's like that minuscule, like you can feeling minuscule sometimes, like, or feeling like not important, or like a decision, like you really aren't that. I don't know. It's like it's a weird feeling. I had that feeling when I was way younger, and I think I just got over it fast. I was like, it is what it is.
feeling of insignificance, of like not importance.
I can't really control it, even if I wanted to.
Yeah. So you're right-handed. You're going to reach here. I have to see when you're taking pictures and making videos of. I think you're using more and more of the electrical scanner towards your benefit now too.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I think in a single day of you working here, as long as there's a repair client, there's not a day that goes by where you don't plug it into electrical scanner. It's like
you use it every day.
Yeah, it's like regular practice now, and you almost feel lost without it. If I was to disconnect it one day, you're gonna be like, oh wow, now what? You know?
Yeah.
You'll start feeling like a little bit of like panic, like the ones that don't give readouts, like these. Yeah. Try using this as an electrical scanner. You'll be like, wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to even compute from it.
You don't even know if it's malfunctioning or not.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could just determine, but like, what if there's a blank screen? Like, I would have to listen to the dings, or the buzz, or even feel the phone.
So what if the buzzer was broken? What if the dinger was broken?
Then feel for heat.
Imagine trying to troubleshoot with that. Like,
I'm
gonna hold it in there and give it about.
My hand is not too warm.
5 minutes.
Put it under the cold water, make it cold, and then. Okay, yeah.
All right, there's ways to do it, but it's not as time efficient as the electrical scanner. Electrical scanner, you plug it in, it's like it gives you a readout. You're like, if it's abnormal or not. After you plug in I'd say about like 100 or so in there across various models, you start looking at it and say, oh, this is abnormal or not.
Yeah.
Like if it's an iPhone 6 and it started like erratically jumping from 0 to 0.30, you're like, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
You see? And that wasn't taught in anybody's training manual. It's just taught over experience.
Yeah, you just kind of know.
Yeah. Well, it's about that time, huh?
It is, Mr. Lux.
Another 8 hours passes.
Yes. Who's this lady?
Oh, I don't know.